Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the 1 to 48 scale Ingram from Pat Laver, the live action movie version. Oh yeah, this is the Ingram from the live action movie, not the anime version. And sorry I had to make a fuss on Facebook in the morning, but I was just so fucking stressed that I thought I wasn't able to go and make it, but somehow I did, sort of. Now I'm not too happy right now with this kit because I'm kind of pissed at it at the moment. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say this right off the bat, do not get the metallic version. As much as it may look good, it may look cool color, just don't fucking get it. Because this is a fucking mess of a kit. This is something that a kid should not be doing at the first place. Well, I'll talk about it later, but for now, let's start with our typical review. Now, what you're supposed to get, of course, is the Ingram itself, obviously. And for stickers and decals, yes, this thing does actually come with stickers and decals. We have this large-ass sticker sheet, but I did not use most of it. The only ones I use are like the really small ones. I'll talk about these later, or point out where they're supposed to go. And they do give you a small sticker decal sheet, which is actually pretty good. If I'm not a guy who pays attention to like those extra small details, so I'm not really too much of a picky fan of these, unless they're like numbers and such. But I did use one, just like a small detail that I was always aware of, and then some polycaps, and this will be missing one extra polycap right here because of my story. So let's get on with that story of. So I started building this last night and finished it last night, which was fine. I absolutely loved how it looks. I absolutely love it. Today, this morning, I was trying to make a review, which means I was trying to take the 21 pictures for the intro scene, but in this video, you won't be seeing that, because while taking that, this motherfucker broke. Where did it break? These shoulder joints. So, just to get on what's happening with this kid, and I won't be able to show you some aspects, is this. Now, here is the normal shoulder joint that goes inside the main body, and the way how you connect the shoulder and the arm itself. This is the main piece. While taking poses, this motherfucker snapped. Because when I'm trying to move the arm, because of this extra metallic coating, as I mentioned like a few seconds ago, every single piece is stiff. Even the joints are, like every part that is supposed to move is extremely stiff, other than the parts where it's connected to a polycap. Like a polycap ball joint, of course, that doesn't really matter, but this one being a peg, I tried to rotate the arm for a pose, and this motherfucker snapped. Now, this is something that kids should not be doing. This is my second case. The first case was my HUC ACT guy, and that thing was just, I don't know, maybe it was just a false piece, but that certain piece was just too tight, and which actually I rotated the arm, and that piece also rotated together without the joint and snapped off. In this case, this thing was just so tight that it didn't move and it snapped off. So I decided to, like, for now, to make things less worse, I tried to disassemble the body and then take this part out. And guess what? While taking that part out, this other piece snapped on me again. And it's stuck in there forever. I tried to pull it out using like a needle and like these small scissors. It broke off the end of the tip of the needle, and it bent the fuck out of these scissors. You can see how it's bent, right? So like, I was like, as you can see on my Facebook reaction, I was pissed. But luckily, somehow my brain worked as a small amendment, so I got like one of the extra leftover plot plates and found shapes that are like in these L shapes, and then just put those fuckers in the main body, and it actually worked. However, the problem is that the shoulder armor is very shaky. If you were using the normal joints here, they have these extra hinges right over here, so it prevents them being shaky. This one is extremely shaky, so that I just want to mention that they're not supposed to be shaky that much. It's just because of the instant fix I did. Okay, anyway, other than that, what you're supposed to get are these stuff. And oh yeah, and guess what? Even the part that snapped inside the arm polycap did not come out. It snapped, it's stuck in there. So I had to use a leftover polycap, which is why you have one less polycap. It's actually a different shape. It's kind of a shorter version of this, but it worked. So just letting you guys know. So yeah, if you get the metallic version, don't play with it. Just leave it as a statue, and that's it. If you want to play with it, get the normal version. You get a shield. Now, first of all, you get a shield, and here you have a extra. This is the stored in or folded up version of the police baton, and you can, as you can see, there's a peg here. You can connect it right here. It does not slide out. You actually get a separate police baton. Once again, the extra metallic coating does actually give it an extra shine and gloss. And now, don't get the wrong idea. You get two revolvers, but these are these are different. How should I say? Different sizes or scale. Just because this kit is not actually good with storing its equipment, so that's why we're getting like two of these kind of stuff. Now, this small one, it's not impossible it's not impossible, but it's really hard to put this on the hand, so I'm not gonna even try. This is the one that you're supposed to use, and this actually has a separate piece. This place where you put the bullets is actually a separate piece for some reason, but I really like how this thing looks. This one is actually storing on the leg, and you have legs. This part does not open. Only this side of the leg opens, like in the anime and the movie. And you can open this up, and for now I'm just going to take this part out, and it reveals this part. Now you have this part where it moves up and down like that. You can actually plug in like the magnum. Oh boy, that was close. You're supposed to clip in the magnum, mostly the end tip, and then store it inside the leg in this kind of fashion, which is pretty nice. Actually, I really do love the detail. But of course, I believe the mass grade version had no problem doing this with its own with the gun provided. So once again, that's kind of the downside of this kit. So anyway, let's get on with the review. Now, as I said, this kit being extremely stiff, I'm going to be extremely careful, and if I see any signs of like breaking, I'm not going to even try showing you guys that part. I'm just sorry, but I just don't want to break any of this kit anymore. Okay, the head looks absolutely fabulous. The head, those black section on the left and right is actually a sticker. The visor is actually a clear green, which is very nice. And then you have another separate piece on top of the head camera for some reason. I thought it would look pretty good without it, but they tell you to put this piece, and it didn't work that well, so I had to glue it on. And then we have this extra metallic black detail going on the head, and I absolutely love the design. And according to the manual, you're supposed to put the sky blue sticker on the end tip of the antenna. I thought that would look really out of place, so I did not use that as well. For the head, or if you look at it from the top, you can actually see the pilot inside there, or you can actually, now I hope I don't make the same mistake, you can pull this part off. Yes, this is actually a sliding gimmick. Flip this part up, and then the bottom section you can actually see the pilot inside. What you're supposed to do is clip this, and then clip this down, and there you go. Even that part was very, very stiff. Now the head articulation. Now there's only one joint going on. There's one neck joint. It looks like there's like three joints going inside the head, but no, there's only just one peg going on. So you can move it to the left less than 90 degrees because of the back neck guard. And then you're supposed the head can move like forward like a lot, like, come on, like that. Yeah, you can see how stiff it is. You just saw it just wham through it. So that's how stiff that thing is. So if you're gonna play with this, oil up every single joint that's supposed to move. I'm just gonna say that one more time. For sticker wise, now oh boy, sorry about that. That was my bad. On the back of the neck guard, you're supposed to put a black sticker here, and if I would have applied if this was like a flat surface, but no, you have all these engravings, so that's why I did not use it, and it actually looks pretty okay without that sticker. And on in front of the body, where's my nipper? Okay, there we go. We have these parts right here, which these are supposed to be headlights or searchlights. Once again, they have all these engravings on it, so meaning it's not a flat surface. And yet they give you those to apply those on top. Once again, I did not do that. I really, really hate putting stickers on top of round surfaces or non-flat surfaces. Now for the body, here we have the gold police symbol. This piece is actually chrome in both versions, metallic and non-metallic version, so you don't need to worry. And this thing comes in undergated, so that's a good thing. The kit itself does not come in undergated. Just because it's a metallic, it doesn't mean it's undergated. Okay, so here's, as I mentioned, the shoulder is supposed to move way more than I show you guys. but you can see it's supposed to move forward and backward like this. You can sort of see the movement going on, but because of the shoulder and everything's blocking it, it's kind of hard to see. And the arm itself now, it's supposed to go 90 degrees to the side. It's kind of like sloppy right now, but yeah, this is as far as I can do for now, I believe. And then the arm itself, you know what? I'm just going to show you how the shoulder connects. Now, this is like how the master grade works. Now, you put the shoulder first and then attach the arm. But luckily, this one actually works like a clipping mechanism. You have this part and it clips on, so easy peasy. And then you can rotate 360 degrees, and as you can see, it has your typical 360 joint. So the arm itself can move 360 and rotate 360. However, the inner frame being very small and thin, but it's still a double jointed inner frame. However, for some reason, I'm not sure it's because of the armor and the vinyl. Yes, as you can see, this thing actually does use this vinyl material. It can only bend up to 90 degrees for some reason. I really don't know how that works. But yeah, and your hands are your typical ball jointed hands, but with articulated fingers. It's the old master grade style with the 3 fingers and this trigger finger and the thumb. However, this hand does not have that peg and hold system for the weapons, so holding the weapons is kind of tricky. But by looking at the shoulders, I really love how it looks. You have the red clear piece siren. It doesn't actually make any noise, but it would look cool if you can modify it to have LEDs inside of it. But yeah, once again, and you have these flaps on the shoulders for extra like movement help. Okay, now let's look at the body. As I showed you guys the cockpit, and inside the pilot there, the pilot comes in 3 pieces. The head, body, leg is in a single piece, and then the 2 arms come in separate pieces. You have to glue those arms on. Yes, that's the only part where I suggest you use glue on it. Well, even the manual, it does mention that. And on the hand, of course, there's one function that I want to show you guys, but I am not able to. I think it's because I messed up the vinyl inside the arms, but in the manual, now when the Ingrams pull out their guns, they open up the legs, and then they don't bend, but the hands actually, or the wrist extends to the gun and holds it. So this is actually a function. Even in the manual, it's supposed to be like this. But however, last night, even today morning, I tried to pull it out and it's not working. So I think mine's jammed in because of the vinyl placement. So once again, if you do it properly, you're supposed to do that. So that's another function that I'm not able to show you guys. Okay, now let's look at the waist section. Oh yeah, actually I have one more. On the backpack section, you're supposed to have a white sticker on this section right over here. On this round section, I did not use that because once again, it wasn't a flat surface. Okay, now the body does not have an ab crunch. It's connected to there's a poly cap inside, and then there's a ball joint coming out from the waist section on top. So despite that, it does not move 360 for some reason. Okay, the waist section, I really love this hook anchor thing going on. It really gives that realistic look. Because I believe like in the anime episode 1 or 2, they tried to pull out a boat. And I think if they had these on in the anime, they would have had less trouble. Now, that 2021 is a sticker decal. And then this red and black section of the waist section, those are a sticker. This is a whole single sticker on front and one on the back. And I believe the master grade actually had clear pieces right over here, so that's kind of the downside for this one. And if you're wondering if these vinyl materials are necessary, they are essential, because once again, the inner frame on the arm is very thin and it's going to look extremely awkward as well. It's going to be like wobbly here and there. On the leg as well, there's only inner frame up to the side. There's no inner frame inside the main downside of the leg, so there's only up to here. So that's why the vinyl is kind of essential, because the way how you connect the polycap on inside here, it requires the vinyl to do the extra grip or connection. So we have this knee section, that armor that moves, and then the leg can go 90 degree up front. Since there's no front or back skirt or side skirt armor, also to the back, and this is connected to a ball joint, the main leg of course. So that's why I believe you cannot go, and because of the armor, that you can't go to the side 90 degrees, and you have a double jointed, it's technically a double jointed bend. However, because of the armor, it's kind of colliding. And even so, for my case, I think it's because of the vinyl. I don't think I can pull out anymore either way. As I mentioned, only one side opens, this side does not open. you have these ball jointed feet, which is a very, very mechanical looking feet compared to the rest of the part of the kit. So, and you have this front part that moves around, and you're supposed to have a black sticker on the side. However, once again, those is not exactly a flat surface. They tell you to like fold up on the end tip. I decided not to do that. Okay, now we've seen the basic articulation. Now let's look at the equipment. Now how the arm or the shield works is that oh yeah, by the way, the shield, the baton is supposed to be on the back side like in the anime, but the movie, I guess they had a different design in mind. You have these two pegs, and each arm has these two holes present in each arm. You just need to plug it in, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't for some reason. But once you connect them, it's a very firm connection. But I don't know why sometimes it falls out for some reason. But yeah, although I wish it would have been on the side, just for the sake of more easier posing. And now let's look at the police baton, the electric shock police baton. Now, once again, having no peg and hole system, it's kind of tricky to hold. It's going to be very wobbly like that. So yeah, kind of bad. And then you have the revolver, which, since there's no peg going on, you have to put the trigger finger inside the actual hole, and once you get that in place, it actually works pretty well. It looks pretty natural by holding it. And you are able to do the double hand pose, like holding the gun with two hands, but right now with my shoulder articulation, that's kind of impossible at the moment. And I think that's pretty much it for the review. Once again, I would definitely recommend this for those who are a big fan of the Ingram or Pad Labor series, anime, movie, whatever. But I would definitely not recommend the metallic. Please, for the sake of your for the safety of the kit or your own sake, if you don't plan on like moving the kit or like posing the kit, get the metallic. But if you plan on like posing, playing around with it a little bit, get the normal version. So I would not recommend this specific metallic version to many people, because of the fact that you're pretty much guaranteed to break something while posing or moving articulation on this thing. Anyway, thank you for watching the reviews. Also, sorry for the sloppy review, but this is the best I could do. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the 1-48 skill Ingram metallic version from the movie, live action movie. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more kits to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.